You've got to be your own rescue mission. That's the beginning of change. You see, the world has a rhythm, and that rhythm doesn't slow down for anyone who's tired, discouraged, or afraid. It moves on. And you have to decide, will you move with it? Let me share something with you, and it might sting a little. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're behind. Nobody cares if you had a rough start. Nobody's sitting at home hoping you'll win. But here's the beauty of it hitting. You don't need them to. Because the moment you decide to work hard and focus on you, everything changes. Don't wish it were easier. Wish it were better. See, I used to wait. I waited for people to notice me. Waited for someone to push me. Waited for life to open up the door. But life doesn't respond to waiting. Life responds to action. The day I stopped expecting people to concede was the day I started winning. You can't keep handing your dreams to other people, hoping they'll carry them for you. It's your job, your load, your life. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. So, if you're tired of being overlooked, if you're tired of the silence, if you're tired of the world ignoring your efforts at good, that's where the fire begins. That's where hunger is born. Because when nobody cares, it teaches you the most important lesson: you must care. Care enough to show up. Care enough to do the work. Care enough to get up early, stay late, and fight for the life you want. And care enough to stop explaining yourself to people who don't even see the vision. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. In this message, I'm going to walk you through 5 principles. 5 habits that transformed my life. 5 truths that taught me how to win quietly. In the dark, without applause, without recognition. Because once you stop chasing approval and start chasing excellence, you'll be unstoppable. Nobody cares. That's fine. You care. And that's enough. Let's begin. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That's where it begins. Not with talent, not with luck, not with applause, but with a decision. A quiet decision that says, no matter what, I will show up. You see, success is not found in the big moments. It's not when the spotlight is on or when the crowd is cheering. Success is built in silence. It's built in the early morning, when the alarm goes off and you don't feel like rising. It's built in the evening, when no one's watching and you're tempted to coast. But you don't. You show up. We must all suffer one of 2 things else: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Let me tell you something about life. It rewards the consistent, not the occasional. The people who show up once in a while don't build much. But those who show up every day, they build empires, first within themselves, then in the world around them. Because showing up isn't just about doing the work. It's about becoming the kind of person who does the work. When you show up every day, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when nobody is clapping, that's when character is forged. That's when you start trusting yourself. And that trust, that's powerful. Because when you trust yourself to show up, you stop needing motivation. You stop needing permission. You stop needing people to believe in you because you believe in you. Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Now here's something I learned the hard way. You can't only show up when you feel good. You can't only train when you're inspired. You can't only work when you're excited. Because that's not discipline. That's emotion. Discipline is what keeps the train moving, even when the fuel tank feels low. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. This is what I do now. Let me ask you something. Who are you when nobody is watching? Who are you when no one will notice if you skip the work? Who are you when there's no applause, no reward, no recognition? That's the real you. And if you want to be someone who wins in life, you have to learn to show up for yourself. Show up for your goals. Show up for your future. Show up for your family, even when they don't see it yet. Show up for your dream, even when no one believes it yet. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. You don't have to be the best today. You don't have to finish the race today. You don't even need results today. You just need to show up. One more hour. One more act of discipline. Because every time you show up, you send a message to your mind, your body, your spirit that says, I'm in this. Not part-time, not sometimes Don't major in minor things. Focus on the few things that truly matter and what matters most. Your ability to do what needs to be done, whether or not you feel like doing it. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect conditions. And don't wait for someone to notice you. Start today. Start with one small action. Then show up again tomorrow. Because when you make it your habit to show up, you'll soon discover something remarkable. You don't need motivation. You don't need applause. You don't even need anyone to care. You just need you. And that's more than enough. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. That's the shift. And to bring value, you have to bring excellence. But here's the catch. Excellence doesn't begin with others. It begins with you. We live in a world that's hungry for validation, likes, follows, comments, approval from people who don't even know our name. And if we're not careful, we start chasing that approval and forget to chase excellence. The major reason for setting a goal is what it makes of you to accomplish it. The moment your self-worth depends on someone else's reaction, you lose control. You're handing your power away, one compliment at a time. Don't do that. You don't need a standing ovation to do your best. You don't need applause to become excellent. You don't need someone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You just need to decide. I will hold myself to a higher standard. Why? Because it matters. You see, when you raise the standard for yourself, everything else rises with it. Your work, your confidence, your results. Excellence is a habit, not a performance. You don't do your best only when someone's watching. You do your best because that's who you are. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. People often ask me, Jim, how do I know if I'm on the right path? And I say, are you waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough? Or are you busy becoming better than you were yesterday? Because the second you stop performing for the crowd and start performing for your own growth, you win. Approval fades, praise fades, even success fades. But who you become in the process, that stays. That's why you must demand excellence from yourself, even in the small things. How you show up, how you speak, how you think, how you treat people when there's no benefit. That's your character. That's your excellence. Character is a quality that embodies many important traits, such as integrity, courage, perseverance, confidence, and wisdom. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for recognition. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the best I can do? Because when your approval comes from within, you stop competing with others, and you start competing with your potential. That's the race you want to win. Not against the world, but against your own limits. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't rise to the level of your desires. You rise to the level of your standards. If you expect little from yourself, you'll deliver little. But if you expect more focus, more discipline, more patience, you'll grow into someone you can be proud of. You don't need anyone to clap. You need to respect the person you're becoming. So here's the challenge. Stop seeking permission to be great. Stop waiting to be discovered. Stop hoping someone will notice your effort. Instead, do this. Notice it yourself. Clap for your own progress. Show up like it matters, because it does. Not because they said so, because you said so. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. You don't want to look back and say, I could have done more, but I was waiting for someone to believe in me. No. You want to look back and say, I believed in myself before anyone else did. And that made all the difference. Start today. Set a new standard. One that doesn't need approval. One that simply says, this is who I am now. And then live like it. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. Most people are busy working on the outside. Their jobs, their appearances, their possessions. But the greatest work, the work that changes everything, is the work you do on the inside. Because your mind is where your life begins. Stand guard at the door of your mind. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you don't control what goes in, you'll never control what comes out. Your thoughts shape your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your habits. And your habits shape your destiny. It all begins with a thought. And if your thoughts are weak, scattered, negative, guess what? So is your life. But if you begin to direct your thoughts, discipline them, nurture them with truth, courage, vision, you'll be amazed at what starts to grow in your life. Don't just let your life drift. Take charge. Discipline your thinking. You don't have to accept every thought that enters your mind. Not every thought is a guest worth hosting. Some thoughts need to be escorted out, replaced with better ones, stronger ones, ones that serve you. Here's something to remember. You are not your thoughts, but you are responsible for them. You have the power to observe a thought and ask, is this helping Meg or hurting me? Is this leading me toward growth or pulling me toward regret? This is the inner game, the battle between the higher you and the lower you. And the better you get at winning this inner battle, the better your outer life becomes. Success, peace, focus. It all starts within. But most people never slow down long enough to examine their thoughts. They're too busy reacting, too busy consuming noise, too busy comparing their life to someone else's highlight reel. But what if you took 1 hour each day to feed your mind the right thoughts? What if you stopped watching junk and started listening to wisdom? What if you replaced self-doubt with strategy and replaced fear with focus? What's easy to do is also easy not to do. It's easy to put on a podcast that inspires you. It's also easy to scroll endlessly and distract yourself. It's easy to write down your goals. It's also easy to say, maybe tomorrow. But remember, every choice adds up. Every thought you repeat becomes a mental muscle. And before long, it becomes your identity. That's why the inner game is so powerful. Because once you master your thoughts, you stop blaming, you stop complaining, you stop waiting, and you start building. You begin to take responsibility. You stop saying, why is life so hard? And you start asking, how can I grow stronger? You stop chasing things and start attracting them by becoming the kind of person who deserves them. Success is something you attract by the person you become. The question is, what kind of person are you becoming? A person full of fear, doubt, worry? Or a person full of vision, clarity, and inner strength? You get to choose. And that's the power of the inner game. Because no matter what's happening outside, economy, circumstances, opinions, you can still control what's happening inside. You can still be calm, still be focused, still be driven. You can still hold the pen. So here's the challenge. Take 1 hour every morning and own it. Read something wise. Write down your thoughts. Review your goals. Talk to yourself like someone you believe in. Train your mind the way an athlete trains their body. Because if you win the morning, you win the day. And if you win the day, you win the life. Just remember, the greatest value in life is not what you get. The greatest value is what you become. Master your mind. Guard your thoughts. Control the inner game. And the rest of your life will take care of itself. Work hard in silence. Let your success shout the results. Let you see, one of the great lessons I learned early is that noise isn't progress. Attention isn't achievement, and applause isn't success. We live in a time where everyone wants to be seen, heard, liked, followed. But here's what I discovered: the real builders, the real leaders, they're too busy building to post about it. They don't need to convince anyone, because the results speak loud enough. Don't tell people your plans. Show them your results. And that takes discipline. It takes patience. And it takes belief in yourself. When you build in silence, You do something powerful. You shift the focus from proving to improving. You're not chasing opinions, you're chasing excellence. You're not distracted by noise. You're devoted to growth. Because here's the truth. Clapping doesn't build your dream. Quiet, consistent effort does. One brick at a time, 1 hour at a time, one decision at a time. And the only person you need to impress is the person you were yesterday. You see, the silent builder knows something most people don't. You don't grow by being loud. You grow by being intentional. You don't win by announcing. You win by executing. And when the moment comes, when the world finally sees what you've been working on, it'll be too strong to deny. That's when the silence breaks, but not with words, with proof. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the fundamentals. So focus on the fundamentals, the daily disciplines, the little improvements that no one sees. Because while others are trying to be impressive, you're becoming effective. While others are chasing attention, you're attracting opportunity. While others are talking about it, you're becoming it. Success isn't something you pursue. Success is something you attract. And here's how you attract you by building in silence. By waking up early even when no one's watching. By practicing your craft even when there's no applause. By choosing the hard road when the easy one tempts you. And when setbacks come, because they will, you don't broadcast them. You learn from them. You get better. You go deeper. You get stronger. That's what building in silence means. And it's a lost art in today's world of constant noise. But I'll tell you, silence is where the roots grow. It's where the character is formed. It's where the resolve is built. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. But it's necessary, because when you're finally ready to launch, you won't need to talk. You'll walk in with results. And results are undeniable. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Choose the discipline of quiet effort, of showing up day after day with no spotlight, of sacrificing now for what you want most. And one day, they'll ask, how did you do it? And you'll smile, because you'll remember all the silent days, all the quiet mornings, all the lonely nights, when you chose to build instead of boast. So here's the question, can you delay recognition for real growth? Can you hold your vision even when nobody claps? Can you walk your path even when no one's watching? If you can, success will find you because you'll be ready. Let your work speak. Let your growth speak. Don't just go through life. Grow through life and growth. My friend, often happens in the silence. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. You know, people often ask Meg, Jim, when do you finally arrive? And I tell them you don't. You see, success is not a destination. It's a journey. And if you're wise, you never stop walking it. There's always another level, another challenge, another lesson, another mountain to climb. Because the moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is the collection of experiences and growth. You've got to stay hungry. Hungry to learn, hungry to improve, hungry to stretch beyond who you were yesterday. And the hunger, it must come from within. No one can give it to you, not your parents, it's your coach, not your boss. It has to be something you choose. Every single day, when it's cold and no one's watching, when the winds aren't coming easy, when the applause fades, that's when hunger matters most. Because hunger is what gets you up when you're tired. It's what keeps you moving when you feel like quitting. It's what reminds you you're not done yet. Motivation gets you started. Habit keeps you going. But hunger pushes you to reach again, to challenge your comfort zone, to go after something greater than just ease. Now, don't misunderstand. It's not about being restless. It's about being driven. There's a difference. Restlessness is born of anxiety. Drive is born of purpose. When you're driven, you find joy in the climb. You don't need the top to feel satisfied, because the process itself becomes the reward. And I'll tell you, that's the secret most never discover. They chase the prize but forget the purpose. They aim for the goal but miss the growth. But when you stay hungry, you keep expanding your world. You see more, do more, become more. And being more, that's the real treasure. Success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become. So the question is not, have you arrived? It's, who are you becoming? Stay hungry for wisdom. Stay hungry for discipline. Stay hungry for self-respect. Don't let a little success fool you into thinking the work is over. Don't let a small failure convince you it's not worth it. You're not finished. You're just getting started. Because life is layers, each one revealing more of who you are and more of who you could be. And when it gets hard, and it will, hunger will carry you through. When people doubt you, and they might, hunger will sharpen your focus. When the path gets dark, and it often does, hunger will light the fire within. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be persistent. And that's what hunger gives you, not perfection, but passion. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. So wake up every day with the hunger to grow, to lead, to serve, to create something meaningful. Because that's what this journey is about. It's not about fame, not about fortune. It's about fulfillment. And fulfillment comes from progress, from purpose, from knowing you gave it everything you had. So keep going. Keep learning. Let the journey shape you. Let it refine you. Let it reveal your potential. And when you think you've gone far enough, go a little further, because the journey never ends. And neither should your hunger. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Now the question is simple. Will you just hear these words, or will you live them? The habits are simple. The choice is yours. Work hard. Stay focused. And never stop becoming the person you were meant to be. Because at the end of the day, the world may not correct, but you should. Stay strong. Stay disciplined, remember. The journey is yours.